Hi, nice to see you again. So it's been weeks since I last uploaded a video, and it's been 2 months since I started my photography journey. And so in this episode, I want to tell you what I've learned so far, and that is the exposure triangle. So a few days ago, you may have seen a video I posted about my walk and shoot here in Cebu. I will be honest with you, that video wasn't supposed to be a walk and shoot and a vlog. That was supposed to be my video showing what I've learned on how to use the 3 settings, the aperture, the ISO, and the shutter speed, and to show you what I've learned on the exposure triangle. Here's the thing, the footage was nice, the place was nice, and so I decided I gotta make a vlog about it. And so that's the video you saw last week. So I decided I make a new video, and this is what I've learned about the exposure triangle. The exposure triangle is the relationship between the 3 settings that determine the brightness and the quality of the photo or of the video. These are the aperture, the shutter speed, and the ISO. So when I first started out, I really thought that these 3 things were complicated. But in the past few weeks, after watching several videos on YouTube, on Instagram, and reading a lot, I learned that's very simple. And adjusting these 3 settings allows you to determine and to fix or how you present your video or photo. So this is how my setup is going to be. Our subject is going to be this beautiful iced coffee. This is my camera, my tripod. Our light source is going to come from the window. I've turned off all of the other lights inside the room. And these are the settings for my camera: the shutter speed, the aperture, the manual metered, which is -2, and the ISO at 1000. So this is the subject, the iced coffee, and the manual meter says that it's -2. That means that this video or the image or whatever you take is gonna be underexposed. So what does underexposed mean? When you say underexposed, it means that the camera sees the subject as a bit too dark. And what you need to do is you can either add an external light like this one, where where it brings in a form of light that makes the image a bit more brighter, or in this case you can adjust either the aperture to make it to open a bit more wider to give more light to the subject, or the shutter speed. Now you can also adjust the ISO, but from what I've read, you usually adjust the ISO last. When you've already adjusted your shutter speed and your aperture and there's nothing else you can do, you adjust your ISO last. So the basic difference between underexposure and overexposure is how the camera sees the image and if it registers it as either too light or too dark. Now, in this image, this is a -1, and the exposure, that means it's a bit dark. If I were to adjust the aperture and close it a bit, this is what happens. It becomes -2, and you can't see anything else in this shot except for my face. You can't even see the coffee, it's here. And so what you can do is you can open up the aperture. That's where understanding the 3 basic settings comes in. This is the reason why I studied those 3 first, because if I don't have understanding of those 3, aperture is gonna be like, I was wrong, sorry. There are also other ways to adjust your camera so that your image becomes brighter. Now another one would be adjusting the shutter speed. Now for this video, because I'm shooting in video, I can't really adjust the shutter speed because I can make it faster, but I can't make it slower, because if I make it slower, the video becomes a bit choppy. But adjusting shutter speed to make it faster also makes the video darker. Now, the last thing that you can do would be to bring in a external light. With external light, so it now becomes 0.0 for the exposure meter. But sometimes external light is kind of annoying. I'll do another video about external light, but basically understanding the three basic settings, the aperture, the ISO, and the shutter speed, will help you work on the exposure triangle. And understanding the exposure triangle means you have a better understanding of how your videos are going to come out. Just to summarize things, aperture, ISO, shutter speed are the three settings you need to learn to control your exposure. That's why they are called the exposure triangle. Exposure comes in three indicators. Overexposure, which means the camera sees the image as too bright, or underexposure, which the camera sees your subject as too dark. And if it's 0.0 or whatever your camera brand says, that's the middle ground. That's where the camera sees that the image is just properly lit. When you encounter a problem with your exposure, the first thing that you adjust are the aperture, the shutter speed, and the ISO. When it comes to a point that you've already done every adjustment that you want and it still doesn't come out as how you want the video or photo to be, that's when you bring in this external light source, or you bring in an ND filter, which I still don't have. But please like and subscribe this video so I can afford one. Thank you very much for following this series of mine. This is self-growth. I'm not monetized by it. It's just me documenting what I've learned. And if you like this type of content, and if you want to support me, please like and subscribe my channel.